All right, so adding and subtracting fractions. We touched a little bit on finding least common denominator, so we're going to use that here today. Oops. So on this first one, 4/7 and 9/14. So we're looking at the denominator, that's the bottom number in the fraction. So we've got 7 and 14. Well, if you write out the factors of 7 14, you get 7 and 14, and you get 14. So we only have to multiply one fraction. So we multiply this one by 2, and you get 8/14, and then you'd have 9/14. So we have a common denominator. Now we could add or subtract them. Next one, same thing. So you've got 9 and 4. So 9 times 2 is 18. 3 is 27. 36. Okay, 4 is 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, and 36. And one thing you can always do is, if you don't know what it is, it's not always the least common, but you could always multiply the two numbers. So 9 times 4 is 36. So that would be the least common multiple. But just note, when you have to simplify, that might not always be the least common denominator. So 9 times 4 gives us 36. So this would be 8/36. And then 9 times 4 is going to give us 36. So we multiply the 3 and the 4 by 9. So that's going to give us 27/36. So now we could add or subtract these together. Okay. So adding and subtracting fractions is what we are focusing on today. So the steps, adding and subtracting fractions. So first you need a common denominator. So that's what we just did in the bell ringer. We found that common denominator, which once again is the least common multiple of the two denominators of the fraction. Then you have to multiply that fraction so that the bottom number has that common denominator, and it has to be equivalent to the fraction itself. So 2/9 is equivalent to 8/36 because we multiplied both the top and bottom by the same factor. Okay, then second it says add or subtract the numerators to get the new numerator and keep the common denominator to make the new fraction. Okay, third, simply convert into a mixed number if needed. So we add the numerators, we keep the denominator. So we've got 3/8 minus 1/4, least common multiple of 8 and 4, or least common denominator. Either works, so it would be 8. So here we only have to take 3/8 minus 1 times 4, which we're going to multiply both top and bottom by 2. That will give us a common denominator and keep it equivalent to 1/4. So that'd be 3/8 minus 2/8. So now we add or subtract the numerators. 3 minus 2 is just 1. And we keep our denominator, so 1/8. Okay, so once again, that's all we're doing. We're finding the least common denominator. We're adjusting our fractions, and then we're adding or subtracting our numerators, keeping the denominator. Okay, likewise, 5/9 plus 3/4. So that was already up top. We know that that is 36. So we know that 9 times 4. So we're going to multiply both top and bottom by 4. And we know 4 times 9. So on this one, we're going to multiply both by 9. Gives us a common denominator and keeps them equivalent fractions. So 5 times 4 is 20. 9 times 4 is 36. Plus 9 times 3 is 27. 9 times 4 is 36. All right. So when we add these together, we add the numerators, keep the denominator. So 20 plus 27 is 47, and 36. All right. So now that we have this number, this is considered an improper fraction. The larger number is on top, So therefore, we can convert this into a mixed number. And actually, we're just going to worry about putting them in improper fractions right now. We have another lesson where we're going to go over converting mixed numbers into improper and improper into mixed numbers. So for right now, just leave it how it is and as an improper fraction. Okay, solve, simplify, and write as a mixed number when needed. We're going to hold off on that. Okay, so we've got 3/8 and minus 7/8. These are already common denominators, so we don't have to adjust these. We just take 3 minus 7. Now, you could rewrite this as 3/8 plus a negative 7/8. So we have different signs, and the negative is bigger, therefore, our outcome should be negative. So, 3 minus 7 equals negative 4/8. This can be simplified. So 4 and 8, you divide both of them by 4. That's going to give us 1 and 2. So this becomes negative 1/2. Okay. Next one, okay, it's 2/3 plus 4/5. Least common multiple of 3 and 5. That's going to be 15. Okay, if you need to, you can write out the multiples of the two numbers to find that. This one I just know is 15, so we are going to multiply 3 by 5. So we have to multiply the 2 by 5 to keep them equivalent. So 2 times 5 is 10, 3 times 5 is 15. We're going to multiply these ones by 3, because 3 times 5 is 15. So 4 times 3 is 12. 5 times 3 is 15. Okay, we add our numerators. 10 plus 12 is 22. We keep our denominator, which is 15. All right, and we'll leave it at this. Once again, in the next lesson, we'll learn how to convert these into mixed numbers. But for right now, I just want to focus on adding and subtracting them correctly. Okay, the last two I want you to do on your own. So pause the video, and then you can come back and see if you got the same thing I did. All right, so least common denominator equals 10. So we only have to multiply this one by 5. Nope, by 2, sorry. That would give us 25. So we multiply this by 2. This gives us 7/10 minus a negative 2/10. So remember, when you minus a negative, you're actually adding them together. So 7, this would be rewritten as 7/10 plus 2/10. But 7 plus 2 is 9, and you'd have 9/10. Okay, the outcome would be positive. Okay, and then the last one, we've got a negative 5/6 plus a negative 4/9. 6 and 9, the least common denominator. Well, multiple or denominator, same thing. That is going to be 18. Okay, 6 times 3 is 18. So we multiply both the numerator and denominator by 3. That's going to give us negative 15 and 18. Plus this one we're multiplying by 2. So that's going to be negative 8/18. Okay, they're the same sign, so we keep them together. Negative 15 and negative 8. We're going to add them, keep the sign. So 15 plus 8 is going to give us a negative 23. So we kept the sign because they're both negatives that we're adding, and then the denominator stays the same. So we're at 18. And that is adding and subtracting fractions. We'll do some more practice with this tomorrow, and then we'll also focus on converting improper and mixed numbers into each other.